Citizens of Earth.
For a great time, call 1-800-HARD-FOR-GAMES.
That is true. We are Hard for Games, and
Tonight we got to play Undertale and Citizens of Earth.
me and Richie here, we played Citizens of Earth.
And we got to play Undertale. And boy, I tell you, do we have a boner for that game.
That's so misleading. I had no opportunity to play Undertale.
He's just bitter. So this game was actually a Kickstarter game which failed, its Kickstarter campaign. But luckily Atlus came along and they published the game, allowing us to get the experience of it.
And the experience we get is that of the vice president of the world. Not of America, not of China, not of sub-Saharan Africa, the whole world. And we delegate everything.
If only the voters could see you now, my son, the slouch.
What should we name the vice president?
Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, it feels appropriate. Whole kind of goal of the game is to go around recruiting as many people as you can to join your side.
Let's get some fresh air before all my days of our bold and the restless starts. This calls for a mother's touch.
There is a main story involving some alien Earthbound weirdnesses and sort of resolving what that is, but that's not really the point of the game.
Yeah, I played about 5 or 6 hours, and you kind of have these little hour or two long chapters. You can kind of play it, set it aside, come back to it. Worked pretty well for me.
And ultimately, I feel like the game is almost like sort of a sandbox experience, sort of an open world sort of thing. There are a lot of different environments for you to explore, but the difficulty spikes in certain areas makes it a little bit difficult to actually explore freely, because you just pop into a zone and boom, you're dead. Hey, go back to the start.
Yeah, I don't know that they did a very good job of leading you in the right direction there, because you have all these side quests that tell you, go here, go there if you want to recruit this person. And, you try to do that, you're just going to end up dead. You kind of have to follow the main story in order to do all your side quests.
Ultimately, it's not really the story that is enticing you. It's more the humor that's the main element of the dialogue and everything that makes it worth playing. Get some funny jokes, get the vice presidential ego. I also find the VP's battle motion a little disconcerting. He is clearly just thrusting.
Undertale takes place in a world where once humans and monsters coexisted, but had a bit of a war, and eventually the monsters were sealed underneath a mountain in a cave system. And it's been a great deal of time, and your character falls down there and now must find their way home through all of these rather strange characters.
You're playing as a little girl or boy, this pixelated child.
Yes, so pixelated that gender is just, we have no idea. You need to upgrade to that DirectX 12 to really get which gender it is.
Well, the point is to try and make your way home and maybe make some friends or kill some people along the way.
Kill a few people, cause a genocide, make friends. These are all options in Undertale. And there are a lot of puns and skeletons and fish women. It gets weird.
I think probably the strongest element of the game for me was the gameplay, though.
Yeah.
And it's certainly an old school gameplay, turn-based. You've got 3-person party, pretty simple, with a row of enemies facing you, sort of in the Dragon Quest or Earthbound style.
Never expect this.
It's a very side questy type of game. The object of the game is to recruit all these different followers. And because
it's not
of that,
to get the end.
No,
it's not to get
really
to the
not.
end. It's to get all of the
it's
characters.
to do all the side quests, yeah.
I am probably more of a Konami guy as opposed to a Bethesda guy, so I prefer my games to have a nice solid trunk with some compelling branches as opposed to just being more of a bush and being all about the branches. Bethesda equals bush. Just keep this in mind, kids. Bethesda equals bush.
You heard it firsthand. How'd you game?
Is that so?
Whoa, okay, you're not the president. I must have.
And I am the president. P is for president. That's me. And E is for an exercise in executive execution.
All right, here we go.
There is a feature that there's this schoolhouse where you can kind of drop off characters.
You here for class? Can I help you with something?
You know, over real time, say, you know, a couple hours, they can gain experience.
And by real time, we mean real time you spend playing the game.
Right.
It doesn't track outside of the
That's
game
true.
like
Yeah.
it should.
Yeah.
But it also costs an awful lot of the in-game currency to use that feature, so...
Right. It's like, I think 10 grand or something, and so far I've played, you know, maybe 5 hours, and I don't even have 10 grand, so.
Yeah.
Gameplay. So Undertale and Citizens of Earth both did have the turn-based,
Very
combat
turn-based.
system.
They had their own twists on it.
They had the enemies lined up in front.
Mhm.
And you could choose which one you want to interact with. Both had like quirky enemies.
Yes, they did. There was a lot of humor in their enemies and their dialogue. You can just give them. There's no endings to it. This is thorough.
Really giving him a thorough petting there. The really interesting part of the gameplay with this, though, was that even though it's turn-based, there's no waiting around for the other person's team. So, like, during the time when you're, like, receiving an attack, you actually have to dodge their attack.
Yeah, so regardless of what their attack is, you could potentially take no damage by skill alone from start to finish on this game. The bullet hell really separates it, not only from Citizens of Earth, but a lot of other RPGs, and I thought that was really clever. Good and evil in this game are a bit different. In some cases, it's just being friendly with people in chat, in conversations, choosing the nicer options. Although that's only very soft changes. The big difference is that if you want to do the evil path, you fight and kill your enemy. If you want to be a nice guy, you try and make peace, and that doesn't net you any XP, so it actually is harder to be the good guy. So that's, I think, why I've been enjoying it. I mean, there's a lot more comedy and, like, joking around in that. I think you get more reward for being the nice guy.
Yeah, it's true. In other games, like, depending on what path you choose, you may just get, like, a different power set, and then you choose that path based on the power set, but in this one, it is actually, like, kind of legitimately harder to be the pacifist.
And usually it's easier to be the nice guy in most games, because they don't want you to be the bad guy. This game does an excellent job at subverting your expectations.
They're like, look, so happy, you just started the game.
And like the Steam page is all about, this is the game where you don't have to hurt anybody. And the first person you meet tries to kill you.
Yeah, and that's what really makes it different from a lot of other games where you have different options of like being good or bad, is that usually all that stuff doesn't add up until the very end of the game at the ending where you get a different ending. Well, this one, it actually more affects your current gameplay and how others interact with you.
Yeah. This isn't like the old Super Nintendo multi-ending where it's like, well, you did everything mostly right, but you forgot that one, like, one-up that was like, 38 screens back. So you get the second best ending. And every other thing remained the same. No, there's a lot of in-world change.
There's actually a huge connection between save files.
Mm-hmm.
So even if you play through once and then you go to do a new save file, it'll remember what you did in the previous one. And they'll have characters interact with you differently.
Which also gives you replay value, which is a good thing in games. Especially a game where two skeletons yell puns at each other.
Definitely the look of the game. It's cartoony, it's got the trippy backgrounds that's kind of reminiscent of Earthbound. The one thing that I really thought lacked all of that personality, though, was the music. I was very disappointed by the music.
Definitely. I hardly even noticed it, whether it changed or not. I don't know.
The only tune I recognized was Hail to the Chief. Everything else was just sort of like bloop, 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 bloop.
There was the dialogue being spoken by all the characters. That added a little bit of character to the different playable characters, but I don't know, at some point even that was just kind of annoying.
Yeah, I don't think they blew their budget on the voice actors.
So, this is Sugar Flats. Witnesses say the moonbucks flew over this area.
Yeah, and that pixelated look, they worked really well with it too.
Yeah.
Like, even though everything was so pixelated, they were able to get such, like, fine expressions in there.
Yeah.
Like, you could tell when someone was, like, really annoyed versus, like, angry. And just those subtle differences. And it also had really quirky enemies to it.
Yes.
So you fight Jello, you fight carrots, and they would also do or say funny things as you're like
it
fighting
keeps the
them.
comedy flowing like Earthbound.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the lesser dog.
Yay!
So I'm going to... You only have the options to pet.
Sounds like Louie.
Oh, he slightly hit me. Critical pet. Dog excitement increased. Excited noises. Dog is overstimulated.
Oh.
You have to jump up to pet the dog. Motor revving. You don't even pet it. It gets more excited. Plane takeoff. There is no way to stop this madness.
Its pet is being self-sustained.
Kettle whistle. Lesser dog enters the realm of the clouds. Lesser dog shows no signs of stopping. Far away bark. Oh, you can reach the lesser dog again. Lesser dog is unpettable, but appreciates
The attempt. The black box.
Yes.
With
Perhaps
all the text
mankind
popped
was
up below.
not meant to pet this dog. Lesser dog has gone where no dog has gone before. Alright, there we are. Mercy. His head just goes back.
The music was also really awesome.
Yeah, so apparently Toby Fox, according to his Facebook page, is a musician.
Oh.
And he apparently got the interest to make a game, did a Kickstarter and all that. So the music I actually love, even though almost every song in this is only 40 seconds long and just kind of loops. But they're still lovable anyways. And they extremely good fit.
I'd probably give it in the realm of a 7. It's a solid sort of play it and forget it RPG. I think there was good stuff in there, and if the developers had focused the game a little bit better and not just tried to cram everything in there, it might have been a better experience.
I think I'd also give it a 7. There's a lot of gameplay there, a lot of content, so I think maybe we could keep playing with it, exploring what the new characters are and what their special abilities are.
I would give it a 9 out of 11 too much water IGN.
I would actually seriously give it like a 9 out of 10. I really liked it.
Yeah.
It was so tight. The only issue I have with it is the restrictions that you have for the gameplay. So you can do a pacifist mode and just mercy everything and don't kill anything, and if you kill anything, then pacifist mode, you screwed it over. And then there's genocide, where you have to kill everything and then you get a different ending. And then of course there's like the muddy middle, but it feels as though you should do it in a certain order of like pacifist and then genocide, and then like why would you play it for like the muddy third ending?
Although there is technically a fourth ending. If you modify the files, Sans will call you a dirty hacker at the end. Look it up on YouTube, it's actually pretty funny. So I would give this game a 9 out of 10. I loved it. I think I could have. It's got so much comedy, and you seem to I mostly played just for the story, but I think I could have done with just a bit more bullet hell. I really liked that.
It
and
was
left me
fairly
longing.
easy.
Yeah.
That's most points. I would also give it a 9 out of 10. It was really tight. The story was great. The comedy was hilarious.
Is there anything about Citizens of Earth that you think is better than Undertale?
Oh, man. maybe we should leave that out.
Maybe that's bad. That's it.
We're gonna have to get the spin crew on this one. It almost feels more like it was set out, let's make a game like Earthbound, whereas Undertale feels more like a game that the guy was like, I want more things like Earthbound in here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree. Definitely visually, it feels like Earthbound.
It's got like the modern real world environment and characters as opposed to more of a pixel thing in a completely different world.
Right, yeah, Undertale, I guess the Earthbound aspect of Undertale is maybe the humor of it.
The humor, the characters, especially the changing fonts, is definitely an Earthboundy thing.
They both have like that Earthbound turn-based thing.
Yeah, they're very Earthboundy in their comedy and part of their playstyle.
Yeah, they're both really quirky enemies.
Citizens of Earth is a lot more Earthboundy than I think this was, but the comedy in this I really liked.
Yeah, I felt like Citizens of Earth was trying to like emulate Earthbound, while Undertale was more inspired by it, but it's its own
Mostly
thing.
went its own way. Yeah.
So let us know what you guys think. Did you like Undertale better or Citizens of Earth? And why do you think that? Let us know in the comments below.
Did you enjoy playing as Donald Trump in Citizens of Earth? I know I did.
Thanks for watching. If you want to see more H4G Game Reviews, don't forget to subscribe to see new episodes every week. And for those interested, we have just started a brand new Patreon page. Definitely check it out. We're working on some great perks and rewards for you guys. Links are in the description below.